We're going to do a new thing of responding to YouTube comments. So we are going to debunk a fallacious claim. We're going to start with the Godhead, a contrast of Christian and Mormon beliefs. You may be asking yourself why we're going to do this, and it's because of this comment right here. This is a horrible characterization of the faith. A more accurate framing would be to compare the LDS faith to other more accepted mainstream religions. When you do this, you will find there isn't much of a difference. Well, first thing that you forgot about was on the video that you commented that was comparing LDS to a more accepted mainstream religion. But we're going to go ahead and start here, and we're going to start with the Godhead. After watching this video, you should be able to tell the difference between the LDS and Christianity beliefs, and that it is not just minor details, but major doctrines. We have to make some acknowledgments here first. First, we have to say that objective truth does exist. What you should expect from this video is that the text and the understanding of both religions should line up and only vary in minor details in order to achieve a not much of a difference understanding. So what happens if there is a difference? Since truth is objective, if there is a true, meaningful difference, that means that the LDS could be true and that Christianity could be wrong. It means that Christianity could be true and that LDS could be wrong. They both could be wrong, but both of them cannot be true. A simple understanding to both beliefs. The LDS say, as Latter-day Saints, we believe in God, the Eternal Father, and in His Son, Jesus Christ, and in the Holy Ghost. This is the Articles of Faith 1:1. We call this statement the first article of our faith, first because understanding these three divine beings is a first step in understanding who we are, why we exist, and what we can become. It is also said, as man is, God once was. As God is, man may become. And here's a short explanation of the Christian Godhead. Christians worship one God in Trinity and Trinity in unity, neither blending their persons nor dividing their essence. And yet there are not three eternal beings. There is but one eternal being. So too, there are not three uncreated or immeasurable beings. There is but one uncreated and immeasurable being. This is excerpts from the Athanasian Creed. So your mission, if you choose to accept it, is that after this video is over, it is up to you to decide if this is just minor differences or if it's a major difference. Be sure to ask any questions in the comments. We're going to start with a small thought experiment. Say, for example, we got together, fast food restaurant, old friends catching up, and I start telling you a story about my new friend, John Smith, who just happens to be a mailman. And I explained to you about John Smith, and you stop and you go, well, wow, I have a friend. His name's John Smith, and he's a mailman too. And I go, oh, really? Well, John Smith, he's like 6'2", he weighs about 175, he's got a good athletic build, he's got light brown skin, green eyes, and brown hair. And you're like, no. John Smith is only about 5'10" tops. He weighs about 210. He has a dad bod. Yeah, he does have the light brown skin, but he has blue eyes and blonde hair. Well, there's only a couple of conclusions that we can come from this. Number one is, one of us is either dramatically wrong about our friend, John Smith, which if he's really our friend, we're not really going to be that wrong about him. Or the second conclusion is, we're talking about two completely different, unique people named John Smith, who just happens to be a mailman. Even though John Smith and John Smith share some similarities, like being human, having height, having weight, it's the differences that make up the details. So even though they have height, they're two different heights. They have weight, they're two different weights. They have the same light brown skin. we still can come to the conclusion that they are two separate individuals, and we cannot confuse them as the same person. So we can examine the Godhead like this as well. Underneath Christianity, the Godhead is one being, three persons, united in essence. The Father is a spirit. Jesus was not a spirit baby. God did not have any spirit children. God did not have a wife. And God has always been God. Underneath the LDS view, there are three beings. You could identify them as like three individuals, or they don't really use the word persons, but it'd be like two persons and a personage of spirit. They are united by purpose, but not in essence. The Father has a physical body. Jesus was a spirit baby and Lucifer's spirit brother. God has a multitude of spirit children, and he has a wife. So, looking at these side by side, even looking at just some of the most basic beliefs, I would already come to the conclusion that the Christian God and the LDS God are two different individuals, beings, peoples, however you want to call it. They are not identifying the same thing.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe for further differences between LDS and Christianity.